I've stayed under 12% body fat for years, and I still eat pizza, tacos, peanut butter, and ice cream. I'm Dr. John Go. Most people think that cutting calories means shrinking that plate until dinner feels more like an appetizer. I keep the meal big and swap the ingredients doing the least amount of work. Here are the 7 swaps that can remove hundreds of calories without making dinner feel smaller. Most people cut portions first. Half the rice, half the sauce, half the dessert. I look for the highest calorie ingredient that isn't doing the main job of the meal and swap that instead. So keep the cheese if the pizza needs it. Keep the avocado if the taco bowl needs it. Spend your calories on the parts that you actually care about. So you still need a calorie deficit. This approach just makes it easier to follow. A meta-analysis of 38 randomized comparisons found that lower energy density meals reduced intake by an average of about 223 calories, although results varied. Now, let's apply it. Swap 1. Change the ground meat, not the taco. The taco doesn't get smaller, but the meat changes. 4 ounces of 85% lean ground beef has about 240 calories, 21 grams of protein. 4 ounces of 99% lean ground turkey often has around 120 calories and 26 grams of protein. That saves roughly 120 calories a serving while keeping the portion about the same and the protein high. Across 2 servings in a large taco bowl, that one change saves roughly 240 calories without taking away the tortilla, the cheese, avocado, or any of the toppings that you care about. Your exact numbers will depend on the brand and fat percentage, so compare equal raw serving sizes on the labels. One grocery decision changes several meals without forcing you to learn a whole new recipe. And if the leaner meat tastes dry, try adding seasoning, salsa, yogurt sauce, or a small measured amount of fat. The goal isn't removing the flavor, it's choosing where the flavor calories go. Swap 2. Make creamy dressing from a protein base. So a salad stays relatively low calorie until the dressing arrives. 2 casual pours of oil or bottled creamy dressing might change the entire meal. The vegetables were never the problem, but the unmeasured pour was. So my swap starts with a high protein base such as Greek yogurt or blended cottage cheese. Then I add lemon, mustard, garlic, herbs, salt, pepper, and enough water to just get that texture right. And honestly, it's not gonna taste identical to bottled Caesar. It's gonna taste tangier and lighter, but it still does the job. You get the creaminess, you get the acidity, the seasoning, and coverage across the whole bowl. And that same base you can turn into ranch, burger sauce, chipotle sauce, or even creamy pasta sauce. Swap 3. Use powdered peanut butter when texture isn't the point. Peanut butter is nutritious, but it's calorie dense. And that's fine when peanut butter itself is the experience, but in oatmeal, smoothies, yogurt, or sauces, you might want that peanut flavor more than that thick, creamy texture. And that's where powdered peanut butter earns its place. Mix it with water for a sauce or add the powder directly to your yogurt, oatmeal, or shake. I use it when I want the peanut flavor more than the texture. And this lowers the calories without shrinking the bowl. Swap 4. Make dessert carry protein. This one matters because we often go off plan at the end of the day, not at lunch. If your normal routine includes ice cream, like mine does, pretending dessert no longer exists is probably gonna backfire. So what I do is I often build a frozen dessert from Greek yogurt, milk, fruit, and a protein source that I like. I'm not claiming it tastes identical to premium regular ice cream, but it gives me a large, cold, sweet bowl that fills the role that dessert plays in my nighttime routine. Some nights I want the real thing, so I eat the real thing, intentionally. Other nights I want more volume and protein, and this version handles that job. That distinction keeps a swap from turning into a rule that you resent. Swap number 5, change the carb base. So a sandwich might use regular bread, low-calorie bread, or an egg wrap. Tacos could use flour tortillas, lower-calorie wraps, or lettuce wraps. A rice bowl might use white rice, cauliflower rice, or a mixture of both. You're changing the base, not rebuilding the entire meal. The key is choosing the swap based on the job. If you want the texture of bread, use low-calorie bread that you enjoy. If the filling matters more than the wrap, an egg wrap or a lettuce wrap might work for you. If a bowl of cauliflower rice feels unsatisfying as it does for me, mix it half and half with regular rice. You keep the volume and still lower the calories. Check the labels because products marketed as keto or low carb aren't always lower in calories, and compare equal serving sizes and choose the option that you'll keep eating. You don't need to remove carbohydrates. You're deciding how many calories the base deserves. Swap number 6. Swap cooking oil for cooking spray. Cooking oil is easy to underestimate because most people pour it straight into the pan. 1 tablespoon is about 120 calories. A generous pour might add 240 calories or more before the food even starts cooking. Cooking spray gives you enough coverage for eggs, vegetables, lean meats, and many pan-cooked meals with fewer calories. You don't need to replace oil everywhere. Use spray when the oil's main job is stopping the food from sticking. When oil provides important flavor, like in dressing or marinade, keep it and just measure it out. Swapping oil for cooking spray often changes little about the finished meal. You're changing the cooking medium, not the food, all the while removing calories that are easy to overlook. Swap number 7. Replace some added sugar with a low-calorie sweetener. 1 tablespoon of sugar has about 50 calories. If your coffee, yogurt, oatmeal, sauce, or dessert uses 2 tablespoons, that's about 100 calories before you even count the rest of the meal. A low-calorie sweetener such as monk fruit, stevia, or sucralose might replace some or all of that added sugar with fewer or no calories, but I don't always remove the real sugar completely. In baked goods and certain sauces, sugar affects more than sweetness. It changes browning, texture, moisture, and structure, so I'll often use a mixture. I keep enough real sugar to preserve the texture and flavor, then I use low-calorie sweetener for the rest of the sweetness. Different sweeteners have different aftertastes and behave differently in different recipes, so use one that you enjoy. The goal isn't to remove all the sugar. It's deciding how much real sugar the recipe needs, then replacing the rest when the results still taste good. Here's how to use ingredient hacking without turning your kitchen into a whole science project. Pick a meal you already eat often, write down the ingredients, circle the highest calorie ingredient that isn't the part that you love the most, compare the 2 replacements using equal serving sizes, and just try out the swap. If the meal still tastes good and keeps you full and satisfied, then keep it. If the meal gets worse, put those calories back in and test a different ingredient. 1 swap you repeat beats 7 swaps that you hate. It requires making the calorie budget match the life that you want to repeat. Swap the ingredient, not the meal. Keep the calories that you care about and remove the ones you barely noticed. And if you want the grocery foundation underneath these swaps, watch my 12 foods video next.